everyone, and welcome back. I'm Denise, and today I feel like I want a challenge. So I think I'm going to pull from Color Cube Volume 2. I pulled card 180. I think I put that in the wrong volume. That's card 185. And Color Cube 2 is 251 to 500. So I have apparently been mixing up my cards. This is from Color Cube Volume 1. And when I'm feeling really good and challenging, like I really want to step outside my comfort zone, I just try to pull a crazy card. And so I have pulled crazy card 185 because these colors are kind of crazy. And let's just see what we can create today with those. So I'm going to pull some paints out and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got 4 colors that I've pulled out of my Art Nouveau set and 1 color out of the regular watercolor set. And I think I got pretty close. So this is the 303 Mauve Taupe. This one's 304 Alizarin Crimson. That's not exactly that color, but it is similar. My goal with the color challenges is not to be exact. I don't want to get hung up on not having an exact color. I want to work within a color palette that I never would have pulled for myself. Number 48, Greenish Yellow. Just getting me outside my comfort zone and getting close. It sets me off in a direction. 602 Cobalt Turquoise Light and 302 Vermilion. And the reason I'm starting with the watercolors is because these are nice and vibrant. So that's what I'm going to use today. I was having a little brain fart. These are my Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors. They're not quite like a traditional watercolor. They're kind of in between that and a gouache, so they're semi-opaque, which is what I like about them. Some people don't like that, or they expect a traditional watercolor when they pull these out, but that's not what these watercolors are. I love gouache. I should get my gouache palette out sometime soon. I hadn't had those out in a while. And just pulling out my Raphael Zero Soft Aqua paintbrush, because I think I'm going to paint on here and then we're going to come back with mark making and stenciling and seeing where we can take it from there. And generally when I start off with a crazy color palette like this, I think, what do I want the overall color to be? Or I think, which is my favorite of those colors? And I start with the favorite, and then I might come back in with the other colors around that, kind of supporting it, but maybe not being as dominant. Or maybe I just start with my favorite so that I can be like, okay, I've at least started on the paper with some color, and then we'll fill in from there. Because 3 of these colors, I won't tell you which 3, are a little bit scary. Like, I'm looking at those thinking, Alright, so let's just be brave. Oh my gosh, I just totally attacked the page in my desire for braveness, and that's more of a yellow than a green. So that's kind of an interesting, that's interesting. I don't hate it, but it's not what it looked like on that when it was dry. So I'm just being crazy today here. There's no direction. Who knows where we're going to end up? It's almost like I'm playing with some crayons and I'm a little kid here with these crazy colors. Alright, these are definitely crazy. I don't know if I'm going to like these or not. Alright, so I'm going to let these dry, and we're going to come back on top of this with some paint and marks and stenciling and whatever we can find to maybe make this interesting. Might also take some mark making. This is my little jelly plate mark making tool, and I could just come and drag through and just make some marks and see if I can't move that paint around a little bit in an interesting way. That was kind of cool. I could come back on here with some graphite, because I love graphite. I think I'm going to let it dry though before I add more on top of this, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I've pulled out some matte acrylic paints in colors that are close. I've got burgundy, Blick matte acrylic, pink medium, yellow, green deep, aqua, and red deep. Just hoping I'm within that color range. And I'm going to put some of these paints out. And then I also have some oil pastels out because it's a maybe. Looks like I don't have this one open. Getting paint everywhere. Kind of thinking, just going to use this sheet I was already using. I added to my colors last time I was at the Blick store, so that when I was doing color challenges, I had more options. And some of these are definitely some fun options. Colors that I don't think come out very often. Maybe that burgundy does, but some of these others, not really. So you can see, like, doing a challenge like this really does push you outside your comfort zone. And I'm kind of thinking that I want to do maybe some stenciling. Maybe some, got some new ones from Joggles. And by the time you watch this, I've probably had these for a while. This is crosshatch. But they're still new to me at the time that I'm filming. And man, let me tell you, I didn't love these great big stencils until I started doing that great big art journal. And now I'm like, give me all the big stencils. Okay, so I'm gonna challenge myself to do some of these colors on top of what it might be contrasting really cool, just so that when we pull the stencil and look at it, we're thinking, whoa, that's crazy. That's my goal. And I'm going to start with this one. Oh, see, whoa, that's crazy. Because when I'm thinking, wow, that's crazy, kind of feeling like that really is me stepping outside. Okay, this one is organic rings. That really is helping me step outside what I'd normally do, because maybe whoa, that's crazy wouldn't be what I'm normally going for, but on these it is. And then I'm thinking, you know, I'm getting excited because I'm trying new stuff and I'm doing things I don't normally do. And then I find new techniques. All right, let's see. What color do we want to do? Let's do blue for these organic rings. And I'm just going to keep using the same sponge, so I don't mind if the blue and the green mix up. We'll just do that. Whoa, yes, I like the rings. All right, win for the rings here. Definitely a win for the rings. Okay, so that's a good stencil. I like that. That was organic rings from Joggles. Okay, that's a good one. All right, and I'm kind of feeling like maybe we should try out this one, which is railroad stacks, which is exactly what this kind of looks like. Is a railroad stacks. And what are we thinking here? Are we thinking pink? Okay, I think I want a different sponge though. I don't want the blue and the green and the pink to mix up. All right, definitely thinking pink though. Where are we gonna go? I think we're gonna go right over here. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, yay for the railroad stacks. Okay, all of these are some good ones. I got little packages all around. I know there's lots of lovely techniques for stencils, but I like to hang them in the package because every time you ask me, what is that stencil? Then I still have the stencil package to be able to say, here's what that was. Now I'm almost thinking, what do you think? What do you think? I'm almost thinking that I want to try, and this is a Stencil Club stencil I think. We used one of these, this one in one of those big art book pages, and I loved it. And this was, I think, a stencil that came the same month, and it's like a big wonky flower, and it's a little bigger than my paper, but I don't even care. Kind of thinking if we did this on top, maybe in, you know, one color, say like that burgundy, or black, might even be black, could be good, so that the color shines up underneath it. What do you think of that? I'm kind of feeling like that. Kind of feeling like that and black. And I did not pull the black out. Let's pull some black out. Because I think it might be interesting for all of those colors to come up underneath and just be doing something fun. Let me grab a little piece of tape. And so, is that straight enough? And we could do it lots of different colors, but I'm kind of feeling like black as kind of a silhouette, like a silhouette of flowers, and then we can get a clean sponge, and then all that color can shine up underneath. That's what I'm thinking. So we're just gonna do it. And hopefully when we're done, we like it. And if we don't, then it was a fun experiment anyway. And you can paint all these with your hand. You don't have to have a stencil. When I'm doing fun things like experimenting and color challenges and playing in sketchbooks, I like to use stencils. They're faster. You get some fun, interesting things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of. You can create your own stencils if you want to create your own. Just think it's fun to play without too much overthinking it. And I am trying to keep the paint fairly thin on my sponge. It's a dry sponge because I don't want it to seep up under. I want it to be a clean transfer of paint without going up under all the stencil. So we'll just see. I think I got black paint everywhere. Let's get that off before I get it everywhere. Alright, so let's see what we got here. I feel like I need a little more right here. Hang on. Okay, let's see. Drum roll. Okay, I'm scared. Oh, look at that. That's rather delightful. Ha-ha. Okay, that's a fun one. This was the Stencil Girl Stencil Club, and it came from month Stencil Club 4 of 2024, Evans. So you have to go to that Stencil Club page and look at the past months below. Let me get up. I think I'm going to do black Posca pen while we're talking. You got to look below at those stencils that were past months in the Stencil Club, because you can't just find them just anywhere. And you have to be a member of the Stencil Club to get the past months. So you would join the club, and then you could go look at the past months, and you send them an email saying, I want to buy these past months. And they send you an email saying, all right, here is your total for what you're wanting to purchase. And then you pay their invoice, and then they send you past months. It's not the same as when you order regular stencils on their website, but I think it's super fun to be in the club because I can't tell you how much I love getting random art supplies in the mail, whether it's something I would have picked for myself or not. It's like getting a gift in the mail every month of stuff you didn't pick, which is like my favorite part of that. Like, I'm like, you know, sometimes I get these and I'm like, oh, I'm not a marker girl, I don't love that. Or, oh, look at this thing that's now going to be my most favorite thing ever. And the stencils, they get different artists to make these every month, and I just love how creative they are, and that they send them, and it's a delightful surprise. And then I take that as a chance to challenge myself with those products, just like I challenge myself with the Color Cube color palettes. And I make things that I never ever would have made otherwise. I'm just having fun now adding lovely dots around everything because why not? And then I can take a look and think, am I done, or do I want to keep adding to it? You know, if you don't like what you've got, maybe you don't have enough layers. That's kind of my philosophy. And maybe you need to add some more layers until the point that you're like, haha, I think I love it now. And you don't have to do all your work on the same day. You can let pieces sit for months until you decide, here's what that needs. Maybe you don't know right now what something needs, and you can wait on that until it speaks to you, or you know a new technique, or you saw a new color, or you saw somebody do something and you're like, oh, I need that. That's what my piece needs. Okay, I like the dots. I'm happy with the dots. Do I have the dots everywhere I want them? Maybe not. Maybe I want some more dots. Just my own. Just having fun there. Okay. So we can keep adding to it. Anything else I think it needs, I kind of like it as it is. I could also, you know, paint some colors in the flowers if I wanted to really make those stand out. But I like that they look like a silhouette. And I think for today, I could be there. So let's peel the tape and see what we got. And I put a nice wide border around my piece. And this too is why I like using the Hahnemühle paper, because I can peel it and it does not tear my paper. So I don't have to do any of the tapey tricks that you've got, because this tape on this paper does amazing. Doesn't tear. It's my favorite paper, I think. Now I could keep mark making in here and adding some other marks underneath, and you could always go back and keep adding to a piece. Don't feel like because you've peeled the tape you're done. Feel free to tape it back down. Feel free to move it around, look at it, think about it. Just because I peeled the tape doesn't mean I can't add to it at another time, but I'm pretty happy with this piece today. Check it out. That is so delightful with those colors, and I actually think that we stuck to our color palette pretty good. And I consider white and black neutral colors, so no matter what your color palette is, I feel like you can still use white or black or gold. Definitely gold, right? Could have gone back in there with some gold. I could have done gold as the stencil part, but I'm actually enjoying where we ended up with that. So I'm going to go for that today. Hope you enjoyed painting with me, and I'll see you guys next time.